Welcome. This is Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising. This is your new moon for the month of April. The new moon is going to be in Taurus, and it happens on the 22nd of April, depending upon where in the world you live, the 22nd to 23rd. I am in the Chicagoland area, so this is Central Standard Time, and the new moon is approximately like 9:25 or something or other. You know, you get the drift. Like 9:30 at night on the 22nd Central Standard Time. So you're going to adjust for wherever it is that you live. But let's talk about reality. All right, this is Capricorn. Capricorn is reality. Capricorn is the tangible world. Capricorn is, it's not so much about faith. It's about if I can see it, then I can believe it. That's Capricorn energy. So this is how you appear to the world because you're a Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising. But more importantly, how do you think? Right? This is your third house. Go to your third house and focus on that. Look it up in your chart. If you don't have a chart, comment your digits and I can help you figure that out. Anything you don't know, comment below and I will respond to you. Now, you have Pisces in your third house. So this is the interesting thing about you. Piscean energy sextiles Capricorn energy. It's 60 degrees away from each other. So you've got Capricorn in the first, and you've got Piscean energy in your third house of believing. This is your third house, I should say, of thinking. But because Pisces is there, Pisces is about faith. Pisces is about, I know, I have this deep belief that even though I can't see something, I can trust. I have faith that there is something greater than me that exists. This is the Piscean energy. The Piscean energy likes to, I want to use the word escape, but another way of putting it is get outside of the body, get outside of the 3D tangible realm. That's what Piscean energy is. Piscean energy is all about, think about Pisces. They are very artistic because they're tapping into the other side of the brain, right? The non-logical, non-rational. It's more about I can feel things out, right? And that we usually talked about when it comes to Cancer energy. But Pisces is deeper than feeling something. But Pisces is very sensitive. Don't get me wrong. Piscean ascendant, meaning their thoughts, their thinking, especially when it comes to siblings. They could be very intuitive when it comes to sibling energy because Pisces is in their third house. Therefore, people who are Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising would find that there would be things that they are just connected with the other side. They are connected with the unknown. They have this intuitive, innate knowledge, this stream that comes through. It's like this antenna that's up all the time, and it's just in working order. Now, what do you have in that house? Because this has everything to do with how you think. If you have a lot of planets in Pisces, you're going to be a very focused individual in terms of all your thinking is going to be about music and creating and movies and images. Because the Pisces energy is dream. It's ethereal. It's things you can't really touch. Okay, so this is kind of like, you know what, images, moving images, movies, right? We can see them, we dive into them, but we're not tangibly touching them. But by watching them, by viewing them, by the witness aspect, we can feel them, we can understand them. So it's very elusive, right? It's water energy. Now we're going to talk about the new moon, okay? And the new moon is going to be all about tapping into what you feel, right? Using that third house energy because we have Neptune at 20 degrees and we have the moon is going to be at 324, 323 in Taurus. We have the sun, it's going to be at 323, 324 in Taurus. This makes this very important new moon. And we're going to go ahead and dive deep and talk about and explain why it's so important. Remember, new moons are intentions, feelings, and emotions. When we pull in your third house abilities and capabilities, Capricorn Ascendant, we're going to understand even more how much power you really have in your hands. So let's go into the all astrology. Okay, Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising. We're focusing on new moons. If we're setting intentions for new moons, what is that exactly? The potency that's available at every new moon is the fact that we have the sun and the moon together. Now, the moon is your emotions. The sun is your energy. It's your strength. It's your vitality. So when the sun touches the moon, it energizes the emotions even more, and vice versa. The emotions, the moon, feed into the sun. They literally light each other up. So when we have new moon times, it is this time when your fuel, your capacity to speak something into fruition, to bring something about, to manifest, is that much stronger. It's at its height, basically. Well, when you set a new moon, it's based upon what you're thinking. Okay, and our thoughts have so many things focused upon our desires. Well, I don't know about you exactly as far as how you're coping with the lockdown, right? The COVID lockdown. And depending upon where you're on the world, some people just began lockdowns like a week ago, believe it or not. I think it was Florida here in the States. They just began a lockdown a week ago. And there's still some states there where the cases are very low, because there's a lower level of population, so the spread isn't as fast, right? You have more people, the spread's going to be quicker. So not everybody's really experiencing it the way other folks are. So depending upon where you live, your thinking and your capabilities and how you feel about all this could vary. Now, a new moon intention is typically going to be about what I want for my future, what I want going forward. Now, folks, I'm going to give you some dates and some degrees. And in these dates and degrees, you're going to go ahead at home and look up your own chart and figure this out. You want to know if any of the things that I talk about square a personal planet of yours. And when I say a personal planet, that is a planet located at the time of your birth. And you would know this by having your own chart, which requires you to have your birth data, your birth date, and your birth time. And so you pull that up and you look and you say, okay, I'm looking at my stuff, and you want to listen for the like energies. Okay, so we've got Taurus energy. Well, what squares Taurus energy? That would be other fixed energy. Okay, so if you've got the sun and the moon over here in Taurus, which, by the way, don't forget, Uranus is also in Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus at this time, approximately at 6 degrees and 24 minutes. Okay, now what you're going to do is look at the other fixed energies. What are the other fixed energies? We've got Aquarius energy, we've got Leo energy, and we've got Scorpio energy. These are fixed. Now, if you have Taurus, what squares Taurus? To the right-hand side of Taurus, I should say. Well, it depends upon how you're looking at it, but we've got Leo at this end, and we've got Aquarius at this end. Taurus would be down here. That makes Scorpio up here. Yes, all the energies literally create a great cross, okay? And there's some very deep esoteric meanings of that, how Christ went up on the cross. Exactly, fixed cross, right? That's what we're talking about here. Taurus energy is fixed. And so Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarian energy is all fixed. And so they make up what is known as the fixed energies. Now they differ in the fact that Taurus is fixed earth. Aquarian energy is fixed air, Scorpio energy is fixed water, and the Leo energy is fixed fire. Okay? Do you have anything at 3 degrees? Now we're going to give a 2-degree orb. So the new moon is like 324. So see if you have anything in either Leo or Aquarian energy at 324. Now, when I say anything, that could be a planet, that could be a node, that could be your Chiron, that could also be a house line. But a significant house line, usually like your well, in general, this would be an ascendant, a descendant, a midheaven, or I should say an IC. So for Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn risings, okay, this full moon energy, or I should say the new moon energy, is happening in your 5th house. Your 5th house is all about how you have a good time with your body. It is also how you express, right? Now you can express by dancing. Okay, you have Taurus in that house, so chances are you may not be expressive in a form of dancing. There could be speech because Taurus rules the voice. Taurus is also a very creative energy, and the 5th house is the house of creativity. So you could be extremely artistic. Now, this would be one of the things that you would want to be honing in on if you're part of a lockdown. Like if you're locking down and you don't even get to go to a job, right? If you don't have the access to leave the house because there's no 9 to 5 for you right now, which many people have experienced laid off things, what you're going to do is hone in on that. Like this is also a great spot for someone who does hair, for stylists. It's ruled by Venus, right? Taurus energy rules Libra, rules Taurus. Libra, or Venus, I should say, is all about making something beautiful. Recognize there's lots of different ways you can make things beautiful. For some, it's literally keeping things clean and organized. For others, it's literally painting something or doing someone's hair or makeup, right? You could be a barber. You're somehow making an improvement. You're encountering something, but before you leave it, it's going to be better than when you approached it, than when you encountered it. You're leaving it in a more of a beautified way, which is why Taurus energy, when it comes to the earth, right? It's very much about, we want to do things that not only just beautify the earth, but that will enhance the earth. We want things that are sustainable, okay? We want to be very resourceful, be very efficient, okay? This time when we have Uranus and Taurus, it is all about understanding what you value, and this is your 5th house. It's just not creativity, okay? 5th house energy is also your romance, your dating, your relating, your mating. Your 5th house is your romantic partners. Your 5th house is also your creative projects, which can be, you know, like, hey, I've got this painting, I've got a drawing, I've got, you know, I go out in the yard and I garden, right? Taurus energy, it's earth energy. It can also be a child in your life. This is the house of children, because the things that we create are things that we made, things we created, right? Now, 5th house is also an area of our life that we take a risk. Taurus energy typically isn't very risky. It's a little bit more reserved. It wants things that are tangible. It doesn't usually like to do things that it wants to keep its values. It wants to hold on to its values. Taurus is it is an intake sign. It's things that come in and it holds on to it. Taurus is like, I stand with fists because I'm not letting go of what I have, damn it. And if you want to fight me for it, I'll fight you for it, right? That's Taurus energy. It has a tendency to hold on to things too tightly because it's fixed. The Scorpio energy, the opposite side of Taurus, this is in your, is all going to be all up in your 11th house. Now, why does this matter? It matters because when you know both sides of the energy, you know both sides of who you are. Each energy is a duality, right? If you got some strong Taurus stuff, right, you need to really understand the Scorpio aspects of yourself. Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus in the sense that it's releasing. As soon as it gets it, it's out of its hands, right? As soon as it makes some money, it's gone. It spends it before it's even made. That's Scorpio money, right? And so the trick with prominent Scorpio energy, this being in your 11th house, do you do that with friends' money? Friends, you know, do you burn through friends? Because Scorpio is all about our shared resources, our shared values, and it being in your 11th house is group energy. Okay, now understanding how intense this is for you, how strong it is simply finding out, do you have planets there? You don't know? Comment below. So the new moon is in your 5th house. Now the 5th house is on the 22nd of this month, and a lot of things happen this month. A lot of things start picking up, you know, like we're going to have Mercury merging into Aries. Mercury goes fast. And by the new moon, Mercury is already in the Arian energy. On the date of the new moon, Mercury is already going to be at 20 degrees Aries, which means Mercury flies. Oh, holy shit. Okay, that was pretty fast. All right, so by the full moon, Mercury being at 20 degrees Aries, Mercury has just taken off and gone really fast because it's fire and Mercury is air. What happens when you mix fire and air? Whew, right? It just goes up like a Christmas tree. So Mercury goes real fast. Now, Mercury is our thinking, which is wonderful. But there's a caution that I have to throw to the wind here because Mercury will be impulsive. It will think something and it will think that it figured something out, that it's got the answer, but it's very impulsive. It doesn't think deep. It's not in layers. It's okay. I'm going with it because you want to think about Arian energy. Aries energy wants to be the first one out of the gate. Well, when you've got Mercury there, and we've got this right now with this COVID stuff, the coronavirus, we've got all the great, you know, scientific minds rushing to be the first one to come up with a vaccine. Okay. This isn't to say that's not going to happen. What I am saying is there may be things that are put out there that are said, hey, this is it. And it's a very good possibility it may not be it because Mercury goes so fast. We will be having interesting things happening after this new moon. Matter of fact, by the 24th, actually on the date of this new moon, we have Pluto standing still because like 4 days later, Pluto will be going backwards. When any planet stands still, it becomes more powerful. Pluto by nature is power. Pluto is intensity. Pluto is like this giant rotor-rooter, right? And it's drilling down. Well, when it's moving, it's drilling as it's moving, you know, like a rototiller in the garden. But what if the rototiller isn't being pushed, but yet it's on, right? It just keeps spinning, and so it starts digging, and it's going deep, and it's going all the way down. And by the way, I've never even used a rototiller, so I don't even know if that's true. If it does that, Pluto gets buried deeper, 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 and goes down further into the Capricorn energy. Well, Pluto being at 2459 of Capricorn is basically 25 degrees, and this is in your first house. So this is important. If you have planets there, then you would know without me telling you, because you'd be feeling it. You're already experiencing it. But if you don't have something at 25 degrees Capricorn, you want to see if you have anything squaring it. Like me, I'm going to give you an example. I am not a Capricorn ascendant, Capricorn rising. I have no planets at all in Capricorn, okay? Capricorn, having Pluto there, and Jupiter was there too, not too long ago. They were conjunct exactly, and they've kind of spread out right now. So that means Pluto isn't as intense, but we're going to experience Pluto being intense again after this new moon because it's standing still. Now, if I had something squaring it, because I have nothing in Pluto or nothing in Capricorn, I want to look in my chart at my Libra energy, and I also want to look at my Aries energy and see, do I have something at 25 degrees of Aries or 25 degrees of Libra. If I do, that means Pluto is squaring it because it's 90 degrees away. It's cardinal squaring cardinal, like energies. I do not, however, look in your chart. See if you do. If you don't know, what are you going to do? Right, you're going to comment below. We have Eris. Globally, there's a transit, and it is the asteroid Eris at 2359. Which is 24 degrees, so that will be squaring. Now, Eris is the kind of like, they describe her as the feminine form of Mars, so she will be squaring, well, she already is squaring Pluto, let's be real. She already is, and she has been this whole time. But that's the feminine energy squaring the masculine energy. And this is a common theme. We are seeing, I've read lots of comments where people who, or at least express in a way that it sounds like they have a problem with feminine energies being promoted at this time. Why is it that we're hearing about feminine rights? Why is this like all this matriarch type of energy trying to rise? And it's because of this. It's because we have this square happening where they're butting heads. And this Eris energy is saying, I'm not backing down. Eris also represents not just the feminine energy, but it's this I need to be heard. And it's been, my voice hasn't been heard, and it's been covered up for so long, and now it's time. I'm not going to stand down any longer. Keeping an eye on that in your chart, even if you don't have a planet there, you do have the transiting, which is the planets up in the sky, Eris, in your Aries energy. And for you, Capricorn, this is happening in your 4th house. Now, is this ringing any bells? Are you like, oh shit, that's why I don't have any planets there? But there's this stress. There's tension and frustration with who you are and home, because it's your 1st house and your 4th house. So even if you don't have a planet, check Eris out. She might be doing some other things like sitting on a planet that you do have and creating more stress in your life. The new moon is setting an intention. When we do intentions for the new moons, it is my belief that you want to go to the opposite side of your energy. If the new moon is in Taurus, we have to understand what the Scorpio energy is about, and we need to go there. We need to realize and have a good, solid understanding of the virtues of Scorpio energy. Some of the vices of the Scorpio energy, like the not so great things, things that we would probably hide from ourselves, first of all, is fear, number one. Understand that anytime we are in a fearful state, we are shutting down our connection to source. We are shutting down the flow of energy that comes through, right? We have these chakras that are outside of our physical body, and we have this light body that exists on the outer realm of us, okay? The outer realm of our 3D, okay? And what we have here, right? It's like up here is this circular opening. And what it brings in is the flow, the frequencies of the higher aspects that are up there. And they come through. But once we're in a fear mode, it closes this up. Well, when that closes up, we literally restrict the flow, and we almost stop the flow altogether from coming through and to reaching us. And what we want it to do is to come down through our head, and we want it to get down to our heart. When we get it down to the heart, what happens is there's this higher heart, and then there's this other heart, right? Our physical body heart. We want it to hit both of them. These literally are the transformers of our body, of our being. And when you have power that comes to the transformer, from there then it goes out, right? And it goes to all the other areas that it needs to hit. We want to tap into that with the Scorpio, with this new moon, with this Taurus new moon. The higher octave of, the opposite of fear, the opposite of doubt is faith, okay? Is faith and is belief in this higher power. It is with belief in the other side. It is the idea that although I do not know exactly what's going to happen in the days coming forward, I can have faith that I am going to be supported. I am going to be safe. I am going to be in a place where I'm not going to let fear control me. The Scorpio energy, okay, especially now, right? This is what we're in. We're in a fear mode because there's so much uncertainty. There is so much reconstruction going on, so much destruction happening. And this would be normal. Embrace it. Hold on to it. I'm not saying you have to love it, but don't deny it. Recognize the fear. Recognize it and ask yourself what it is exactly you fear. So for Capricorn ascendants, we're going to look where this is. You've got your Scorpio energy in your 11th house. It's group energy. So your goal of your intentions isn't going to involve just you. It's going to involve groups. This is an altruistic placement. This is humanity. This is the house that is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is all about advancements for humanity. So this is your time, Capricorn. It is your time to pull in the higher frequencies and to set intentions for advancements that would help all involved. This is important because Pluto is also the ruler of Scorpion energy in that house. And when you understand how Pluto works, Pluto says, I want you to do things. I want you to learn from something. I want you to release what no longer is working, release what's broken, get rid of the old systems, do a rehaul, right? Start building something new. But you have to be willing to let go of the old. All right? We have two June eclipses coming. The June 5th eclipse is at 15 degrees in Sagittarius, and I will come out with a more detailed video on that. But I want you to find out, look at your own personal chart, find out where 15 degrees Sagittarius is. For Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Risings, typically this is your 12th house. So you need to look at the degrees and find out, though, there could be part of this in your 11th. Understanding that this eclipse is going to be huge. It's going to be an eclipse that we are going to have the sun and the moon, and we're going to have Mars. Mars will be a factor in this eclipse. Now remember, Mars is an activator. Mars will be in Pisces energy at this time at 15 degrees, and it will be squaring this eclipse. Mars typically is considered a malefic planet. Now, this is not to be all negative, all right? There is tons of energy out there right now. There is Uranus kicking into high gear during the next couple of months, and it's aspecting the sun, the transiting sun, aspecting the transiting Mercury, aspecting the Venus, and we're going to be getting downloads of frequencies and information, okay? You want to be open to that information. You want to understand that there are things that could occur in your life, right? Miraculous things that could occur in your life. And I say miraculous because your ability, my ability, our ability to grasp onto these things, to say, is that possible? No, you don't have that ability. This is something beyond our consciousness. So for us, when it's beyond our consciousness and we can't wrap our mind around it, we're like, oh my gosh, it's a miracle, right? Be open to this. Be open to that understanding. Be open to that sort of divine happening coming through into your world. But knowing in advance that you're going to have The eclipse energy in your 12th house is your subconscious. It is also past life stuff. And there's going to be things that need to be released. It's an emotional release. Now, it's going to be squared by your 3rd house, which is your thinking, how you communicate, how you talk, how you think. This would be in relation to neighbors, siblings, people who are in your daily environment, which could be coworkers. It's all 3rd house stuff. 3rd house is also how I travel. Okay, don't forget that. I know I always do. It is my recommendation. I will be setting my new moon intention on the 24th of April. I picked the 24th of April because we still have the moon in the Taurus energy, which is what we want. And at the same time, we have, I don't have any data in front of me, sorry. At the same time, we will have, there was an uncomfortableness that we were going to have, and doing it on the 22nd, it was clouding our judgment. We were still in a very emotional situation. And I wanted to get more into the Taurus energy because Taurus is about grounding in, bringing down what it is you truly need to move forward, and understanding what it is you truly need in terms of value, and incorporating what's good for the earth. Remember, folks, what is good for the earth is good for you. And if there's nothing else that you know about Taurus energy, just if you don't hold on to anything else, hold on to that. Keep in mind this is about necessities. It is not about so much as a desire and a want, but necessities. But we have at our beck and call, we're going to have these higher frequencies available. And this is all about soul energy, because your Scorpio energy is your soul energy, right? Scorpio, Pluto's the ruler of Scorpio. This is your 11th house. So set your intentions on the 24th. And what you're looking to do is to grab a hold of things that you value, things that you know you need in your life, but that will also help others. 11th house, altruistic energy. Okay, Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising. Do you have any questions? You need things you need me to clarify? Comment your stuff below and I will help you out.